Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Shannon Beecham, and in this video I will be doing a flip through for the month of February and March. The plan was to, or is to do a monthly flip through, and I quickly found myself wanting to get back into the mindset of perfectionism, and so I completely missed February. So this one will include both of them. It's really tough to edit your video and then see immediately all the things that you want to change or do differently, and it's just not possible to make all those changes, especially if you want to get the video out. And I understand that part of the process is, you learn those things and you can apply it next time. And that's what I keep trying to tell myself. So if you are interested in journaling and art and exploring your creative outlets, and you are patient and kind with a channel that doesn't even have a name yet, then please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And I will continue to put out more imperfect, perfect videos as I grow. So yeah, like I said, this is going to be a flip through for February and March. And it also took me a little bit longer this time to put this video out than I wanted to, because it was brought to my attention that people pause the videos and then zoom in to read what's in the journal, and that was just a little unnerving. I mean, I guess you're putting it out there, but I don't know, it feels like that's doing a lot. And I do want to be able to share my journal and share the highs and lows of that month and the different creative avenues that I took, but I don't want people all in my business. So I did a lot of blurring out, and because I'm my shoulders are up here thinking about it. So as I ease into this practice, hopefully all the blurs don't take away from the art or the message of the journal and its process. But yeah, we might have that for a little while. We'll see how that resolves itself, but I'm not going to keep rambling. Let's check out February 1st. So this is a new journal for me. I started this journal in the month of February, and I thought it would be fun to do some painting using acrylic paints. Found out that it's not the easiest to write on, although the glossy paint was a little bit easier to write on top of. I included a morning routine and a meal plan. Didn't really use them as much as I wanted to, but that's okay. I did enjoy adding the extra pages for each week for the meal plan. And then for the side, I usually do note to self, current state, goals, challenges, strategy, and a fun fact. And fun fact for this week, for that month, as of 2021, there are 2 million podcasts. My husband and I were just finishing up with our podcast, so those were some big goals for the month of February as we finished that up, and hence why it was the subject of my fun fact. This is the first weekly. We had a movie night on Friday. We actually started watching Raising Dion, the second season, but I will talk about that more at the very end. I never could figure out what I wanted to put in the space, but that's okay. I might come back to it one day. I might see a quote or a sticker or something and I'm like, it's got to go there. Its moment will happen. The next page is my greatest ideas, and this is just whatever randomness is on my mind. I usually am taking notes from Marco Polo, which is an app that I use to send video messages to my friends. So when they send some back, or they might be really long messages, I'll just take notes in here. I've also got song lyrics on here that were stuck in my head, mostly from Encanto. Here is another weekly for the month of February. I included a tarot spread in this one, and on the side page on the right, I did a little bit of a collage for homeschool and just kind of recognizing that we have been doing this thing for like 10 years. And I also used colored pencil for the first time in this journal. This is the homeschool page where I wanted to plan out some of the activities and topics and things that we will be talking about through the week. I have a separate planner for that, but I thought I would try and put the two together. I don't love this layout at all. I tried to stick with it a few more times, but I don't really care for it. And if I can't figure it out, then I may just go back to using two separate books. Here I did a journal entry, the prompt being, what's one thing in your home that brings you joy? And I had no issues writing about this golden yellow colored duvet cover that we have in our room. That was an accidental splurge, just not paying attention to details. I think if I really knew what I was doing, I wouldn't have bought it. I would have been like very cheap with myself, but I'm glad I have it. I love it. Of course, within the week of having it, because I do crafts in the bed, I had a blue ink stain on it, but I wouldn't be me if I didn't do that. And I tried to do a coffee stain background. So of course you could see it on the homeschool page a little bit, and it was on this page as well, but I just painted this page with white acrylic paint to kind of cover it all up. But this is a book review. I read Akata Woman. I was not disappointed. This was the third book in the series, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I loved it so much. My favorite character being Chi-Chi, I believe, because she is just like the epitome of the homeschool kid. So I really enjoyed her. This is the last February weekly. And this happened to be a really busy week because we were preparing to hit the road and go to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to see the Harry Potter exhibit at the Franklin Institute, which was so much fun. I seriously want to go back. I think it's there until September. I don't know if that will happen, but if nothing else, I would like to return to the Franklin Institute because we did not really get to see the rest of the museum. And what I could see as we walked through, it looked like kids were touching everything. And I mean, what kid wouldn't love that in a museum? So I think we should go back. And of course, I had to do a Harry Potter scrapbook page and commemorate the adventure. The kids dressed up as Gryffindors. My husband was Team Ravenclaw as Jamaldemort. And I was Professor Trelawney, also Ravenclaw. My favorite room was actually Professor Umbridge's room. Just the way, like, everything was so vibrant. The pink and the neon lights, it was just very cool. And my daughter took a picture of the Liberty Bell. It's awesome. And in order to not hold on to everything and keep my precious stickers, I'm doing sticker pages so that I can just go ahead and use these stickers and enjoy them and let them fulfill their life purpose as stickers. I also am including a review, an end of the month review, which I really liked. I would say overall for February, I was about a 6. I included songs. I listened to the Encanto soundtrack so much. And I've also been listening to Your Creative Life podcast. I've really enjoyed that. Raising Dion, 3 stars. I mean, I don't feel like I wasted my time watching it, but I definitely will not go back and watch it again. I'll just say that. Kimmy is a movie I watched, another one where I don't feel like I wasted my time, but I probably won't watch that. I already mentioned that I read Akata Woman, and we also read Spaced Out by Stuart Gibbs and Maya and the Rising Dark. And I believe that there's a sequel to Maya, and Spaced Out was the second in the series of 3 books for that space case or something. But those were the nighttime books that I read to the children for the month of February. Not Akata Woman, that was my personal read. It's the month of March, my favorite month of the year. Spring is just around the corner, and I feel renewed energy. These flowers came from a gift bag that my friend gave me, and I cut part of the bag, and then some of them I just cut the flowers out themselves, and then just cut out a bunch of March clippings, and that's what I included on this front March cover. I have this same Dutch door layout. I really enjoyed it, but I am ready, I think, to retire it at this point. But I just did my calendar, and then of course on the side, note to self, current state, goals, challenges, strategy, fun fact. This month's fun fact about procrastination is it's actually more about managing yourself, like your thoughts around your actions, more than it is about managing your time, if that makes sense. And then in the inside here, instead of doing the meal plan and the morning routine, which I didn't really use, I included an about me section because March is my birthday month. So things like I am a Pisces sun and moon, Taurus rising, life path number 9, generator, Pisces water element. My hairstyle is currently locks and I wear glasses. I do have a playlist I created on Spotify, a Pisces playlist, but it is not ready to be written down. It is still being worked. And here I had just like a bunch of envelopes, of course, just from this being my birthday month, from birthday cards. So I just glued this envelope on here, decorated it, and put some fun goodies in there for myself. My daughter made that birthday card for me, and baby pictures that I just honestly had lying around, and I figured this way I could give them a home and not lose them. this last one, I was pregnant with my son. That was my third pregnancy. And then my oldest daughter made this card for me. The journal question for this month is, are you organized or messy? And let's just say that that is not a simple yes or no question. I think I have the mindset of an organized person. It just doesn't translate well into real life. This is a weekly for March, the first weekly. I included a little pocket here with a zine I started but haven't finished. I'm also trying to figure out either another way to include goals either on my weeklies or on a page of their own, because I find that once I write them, I don't really go back and look at them. Sometimes I'm completing them, sometimes I'm not, but I don't really go back and take stock or check them off and see what was completed or not. Here is my greatest ideas page. Again, Marco Polo notes. Here I actually had some ideas for work, some blog topics, some social media posts, things like that. The book review for this month is The Undead Truth of Us. It's actually an unpublished book. I believe it's published, but it is not yet out. I'm at a loss for the word, but it's not out. So I did a review on NetGalley. I guess it's to help the author and the publishers in terms of feedback on the book before it is officially out there. And I have to say, I really enjoyed this book, and I hope to do more projects like this and to be able to write up reviews. But this was a really interesting take, or a really interesting perspective on grief and that whole journey. So I really enjoyed it. And then this yarn page I had done a little bit of gluing yarn in the very beginning of this book and really enjoyed it. So I thought, why not cover an entire page? Possibly a little overkill, but it was fun nonetheless. It's not soft at all. The hot glue gun definitely melted the glue, and the pieces that are sticking out, of course, aren't very soft. Here is my second weekly. I did the Dutch doors here. I might do this one again. I liked that I was able to include a few days, maybe not. I had the option of including a couple weeks, which I didn't do this time, but I think that's what I was thinking, like I could do this easily with this page or this kind of Dutch door. And then it was my birthday that week, March 9th. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, Professor Trelawney. And then, of course, I had to get all of my feelings, total introspection, and just reflect on my 36 years on this earth and celebrating my birthday and being gracious and full of gratitude about the things that I have in my life. I did a birthday collage. This is my kind of New Year's resolution, except for like my personal year. I did do like some big goals in kind of the different areas of my life for the new year, but I saved the collage for my birthday. This is something that I do when I have busier weeks, where I just keep the format really simple and kind of write either as I go along or kind of just loosely predict the next few days that I'll write in. But this must have just been a busy week and really didn't have a lot of time for planning out the week or anything. So I just kind of wrote in it as the week went along. Okay, so this is officially the last homeschool page. I'm going to keep trying to include it in this book because I do like having them together, but this format has got to go. I barely even filled it out this week. I don't like it. So I don't need to keep doing it to prove to myself that I don't like it. I don't like it. This is another weekly page. I included some foam stickers and washi tape and just kept a simple layout. I started doing the weather on here. I didn't really finish it, which is why I don't typically include that, but it's my journal. It's no big deal. I might add a quote to this area under March as well. We'll see. If I find something and I feel like, I know the page that this belongs on, then I'll put it there. But it's also perfectly okay if I never put anything in that spot. That's really a mental note for myself more than anything. Okay, this is also what I'm going to claim as the last time I use acrylic paint on the background of a page. It is so insanely difficult to write on. I don't need to keep putting myself through that. I didn't even really use the second page. It's not meant to be a sticker page, but I just couldn't get myself to write anymore, so I just threw stickers on it. And I'm also not going to do glitter again. Maybe on the glitter. I might have to learn that lesson a second time. It's everywhere though. It's everywhere. And of course, another sticker page with dinosaurs and some, I guess, like school stickers. And then my March review, I'd say overall this month was a 7. I also included home because I think that affects like my whole overall mood. Instead of printing out the pictures for the songs and the podcast I was listening to this month, I thought I would draw them. And I really hope Nina Simone can forgive me. But these are 2 songs that I listened to that were on my Pisces playlist that I played a lot this month. And Let's Not Meet is one of my favorite podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcast or creepypasta podcast. Stories of murder and near-death escapes filled my Spotify end of the year review thing they give you. Wrap up. I can't remember what it was called, but I told myself this year that I could not let those kind of stories dominate my life. But this month I definitely indulged and I don't regret it. TV shows, I watched Upload. I really enjoyed that one. Movies, Turning Red. I wanted to love it, but I just didn't. Pretty much a 3, I think, to me means I didn't regret watching it, but I'm not going to watch it again. Books this month, I read Animal Farm and Mr. Stink as the nighttime stories for my kids. And then Genesis Begins Again, which is a, I guess, children's novel, but my daughter read it and really enjoyed it and recommended it to me. So of course I had to read it. And it was a great book. I feel like I say things are great and amazing and awesome a lot, but when I like it, I really like it. And I enjoyed that book so much. It touched a lot on colorism and self-love, and I was in tears. Oh my gosh, I was crying. Oh, it was so good. And then I end it with kind of a general reflection of how I saw the month and where I see myself going into the next month. Okay, and then for April, just kidding. We will save that for next month, though I have started it to keep track of this month. You can easily see that some of the watercolors that I put on that page have bled into the previous March review. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next month.